Back sweetening. What are some of the ways to sweeten your bone-dry wine? I want to talk about using sulfites. I want to talk about sweetening after bottling, using non-fermentable sugars, and sweetening during fermentation. Hi, I'm Charles, and welcome to DIY Fermentation, your site for doing fermentation on the shoestring budget. Okay, you waited for months for your wine to clear up. It's finally cleared and you've decided it's time to bottle it. But before you put it in the bottle, you decide, well, let me have a quick little taste of it to find out just exactly what it does taste like. Get your little cup, pour your little sip. Ooh, that's bone dry. What are you going to do? Well, there's a couple of things you can do. Many home winemakers will use the following process. They'll use sulfites. If you look on the bottle of a store-bought bottle of wine, you will see it contains sulfites written on the label. And basically what those are, or what that is this. You're going to be using potassium metabisulfite and potassium sorbate. Now the potassium metabisulfite, if you're using them, that's pretty much your Canva tablets. That's going to help you to eliminate any stray germs or bacteria that might have gotten into your wine mixture. And it's also going to help with reducing the amount of oxidation that could possibly occur between rackings and bottling of the wine. Now, the potassium sorbate, that's what's going to stop the yeast from replicating or making little miniature copies of themselves to chow down on any more sugar that might possibly be in your wine. But we know at this point, there is no sugar in your wine because your wine is bone dry. By adding the sulfites, you can now add sugar to your desired level of sweetness without having to worry about restarting fermentation. That's the first process, using sulfites. Now another way of sweetening your wine would be after bottling. You already bottled it, there's no sugar in it, and you've decided that rather than use sulfites, we're just going to go ahead and wait until we've popped the cork and we're ready to pour our first glass. In which case, you just simply add your sugar either to the bottle, stir it up thoroughly, or you can do it on a glass by glass basis. Just pour in your wine, add your sugar, give it a little stir. There you go. It's now sweetened to your liking. Now, another way of adding sugar to your wine after fermentation is complete and before it goes in the bottle is that you can use either non-fermentable sugars like xylitol or mannitol, or you can use artificial sweeteners like saccharin, sweetenlow, or Splenda. All of these will work. It will give you your desired sweetness. However, with artificial sweeteners, let's just be honest, there's an artificial taste. With products like natural sugars like xylitol and mannitol, they work just fine, but the problem with that is that these are expensive. A 4-pound bag of sugar is less than $2. A 1-pound bag of xylitol, we're talking about over $7 for that, and twice that for mannitol. So there's a cost factor involved. Do they work? Yeah, they do. They will give you your sweetness in the bottle so that when you pop the cork, you're all set and ready to go. It is an option. The final option that I want to discuss is doing back sweetening while secondary fermentation is still in process. In the case of this wine, it's in secondary. There's a heavy layer of lees down at the bottom of the jug, carboy, demijohn, take your pick, and it's now ready to be racked into another container. I'm going to take this opportunity, since having taken a hydrometer reading, it's come in at less than 0.994. It's pretty much consumed all of the original sugar that was in there. So I'm going to go ahead and rack it, and then I'm going to add about a half a cup of sugar and let it continue on doing secondary fermentation. I'm going to continue doing that process until fermentation is stopped completely. If it stops above 0.994, and no matter how much time I give it, there's no change in the hydrometer reading, then I know the fermentation is done. I can then add as much sugar as I like without having to worry about restarting fermentation, and the wine will be sweet when it's time for bottling. There you go. That's how I intend to do back sweetening on this particular bottle of wine, and those are the 4 methods that I have used with back sweetening all of my other wines.